Hey there, Gold Rush fans! We've got a story that'll have you on the edge of your seat, filled with excitement, drama, and one of the biggest gold fins ever. Buckle up, because this tale revolves around the one and only Tony Beets, yes, the king of Klondike himself, and how he discovered an abandoned mobile Trommel that was still filled with gold. That's right, folks, and the way he went after it. Nothing short of legendary. You won't want to miss this. But first, let's set the scene. Tony Beets and his crew were in a bind. They were barely a third of the way to hitting their 3,000-ounce gold goal, and despite sky-high gold prices, disaster struck. Dredge problems were slowing them down, and their main mining equipment was falling apart left and right. Tony knew he had to do something drastic to keep his operation alive. The pressure was on. Every miner in the Klondike was hustling to cash in on the gold rush, and Tony, well, he wasn't about to let anyone pass him by. Cue the lead. A lifetime. Tony heard whispers of an old forgotten mobile Trommel deep in the remote Yukon wilderness. The thing had been left to rust for years. Most people probably wrote it off as junk, but Tony Beets isn't most people. With $400,000 on the line, he rolled the dice and bought the Trommel site unseen, knowing full well it could be a dud. He knew if it didn't work it would cost him, but if it did, jackpot. Now here's where things get wild. Getting the Trommel out of the wilderness wasn't going to be easy. We're talking about a 35-ton beast of a machine sitting 100 miles away over mountains and across rough Yukon terrain. Moving this thing would be a logistical nightmare, but Tony, being Tony, didn't hesitate. He shut down his entire operation, costing him an eye-watering $60,000 a day to send a 7-man crew to retrieve it. They faced an obstacle course of problems: treacherous mountain roads, a punctured truck tire, and even the risk of being stranded if the ferry refused to carry their massive load. But Beets wasn't backing down. His son Mike led the charge, and after 2 intense days of dismantling the Trommel, they started the grueling journey back to camp. Just when you think it couldn't get crazier, it does. The truck carrying the Trommel nearly tipped over multiple times, and at one point it got completely stuck in the mud. Tony's team had to pull out all the stops using a heavy-duty backhoe loader just to free it. Every minute counted, with the threat of Yukon snow looming and no gold being mined. The stakes were astronomical. After 3 nerve-wracking days, they finally made it back to Camp Trommel in tow. Tony's gamble paid off in a big way. Despite the $400,000 price tag and days of lost mining time, the Trommel held the key to his long-term success. Once it was operational, it was a game changer. Unlike his problematic dredges, this mobile Trommel was a powerhouse that could move from one mining site to another. Processing pay dirt faster than ever. No more transporting dirt. This thing could do it all in one spot. But here's the kicker: the Trommel wasn't just any old machine. It was built 30 years ago by a maverick miner, and even though it had only run for 1 season, it was still full of gold. That's right, folks. Imagine finding a treasure chest buried under years of dirt and rust. That's what this Trommel was. Not only was Tony getting a machine that could transform his operation, but it was literally filled with gold. Talk about hidden treasure. Tony Beets is known for taking big risks, and this was no different. But it wasn't just luck that brought him success, it was his vision. He saw the potential in that abandoned Trommel when others saw nothing but a rusty old machine. His decision to invest in it wasn't just about fixing short-term problems with his dredges. It was about ensuring long-term productivity and profitability. And as we all know, in the gold mining game, it's all about staying ahead of the curve. In a world where most miners are content with incremental gains, Tony Beets went all in. He didn't just buy a Trommel, he bought his future with that Trommel in operation. He could mine more gold faster and more efficiently than ever before. The fact that it was mobile that was the real gold mine. Tony's no stranger to thinking ahead, and it's exactly why he's one of the most successful miners on Gold Rush. So what can we learn from Tony's story? First, fortune favors the bold in business as in life. Sometimes you've got to take risks. And when the odds are stacked against you, that's when you dig in the hardest. Second, think long-term. Tony didn't just fix a problem, he invested in a solution that would keep his operation running smoothly for years to come. And finally, never underestimate the value of experience. Tony's been in the mining game for decades, and that experience gave him the insight to see the potential in what others might have overlooked. So what do you think? Could you have made that call, or would you have played it safe? If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping gold rush moments.